Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to your own YouTube channel Vitamin C, where we talk about cash, career, and clarity. And today we are once again with a very interesting topic on a national education policy. This topic is affecting future of all the Indian, and it is very much important to discuss the core aspects of it. And to discuss on it, we have a visionary person from education field, Dr. Kartik Jain, who is master in business policies and strategies, and along with the combination of technology, has created a wonderful university as an under capacity of Provost of Swarrnim Startup and Innovation University. Thank you so much, sir, and a very warm welcome to our channel. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So starting with, if you can tell us a little bit about this unique concept of Swarrnim Startup and Innovation University? I believe it's the first of its kind, right? So, sir, please share what is this university is all about.
We started the university, Swarrnim University, in the year 2017 under the Government of Gujarat Private University Act 2009. And a specific Act 10 of 2017 has been introduced by Government of Gujarat. And by that, we got the status of a private university. Now, before we talk about private universities in Gujarat, I would like to say a very good feature about how Government of Gujarat is working in the field of education. You see, in entire India, Gujarat is the only state where you will find Children's University, Teachers University, Yoga University, Raksha Shakti University. So to just continue the pattern, initially in the year 2017, then Chief Minister Shrimati Anandiben, in consultation with our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, they thought of why don't we start a university in the field of startups. So at that moment of time, our promoters, they had talks with various government officials, and they thought, why don't you start a university in the field of startups? Because at that moment of time, startup was a major boost up in economy. So after having a lot of thought provocation in that particular area, we came up with a university by name Swarrnim Startup and Innovation University, which, as you told, it's first of its kind university in the field of startups, and which has been given a sector specialization of startups. So this is how we started, and right now we are offering regular academics and orientation to startups, not only in the field of engineering, management, science, but also in the field of homeopathy, Ayurveda, physiotherapy, and nursing. So we have a vast variety of subjects in the university, and we do not limit students just for academics. We ask them to have patience and to flourish in the field of startups. So that is how the concept of Swarrnim University came into existence.
Right. So as the concept is, we always talk and go beyond education, and that is what is the thought process behind national education policy also, I believe, right? So what is your view? What are the core aspects of national education policy, and what are the idea behind it?
You see, I am a kind of nationalist. I seriously believe in the Prachin Bharatiya Itihas. Okay. And if you just take a little look back, if you see the previous education structure of India, it was Gurukul based. Right. And that moment of time, education was through gurus, not through subjects. But what happened when Britishers came or Mughals came to India, they destroyed the entire education system because they had their inbuilt interest regarding if they do not destroy the initial education concept of India, they were not able to rule the country. So they destroyed the entire education system, and then Lord Macaulay came out with a concept which used to build for clerks for their government operations. So 17th century onwards till independence, we were basically producing clerks. But even after independence, nobody thought of giving a boom or rebuild the entire education system on our Prachin education system. So when Honorable Modi ji took over as Prime Minister of India, he is the first person to give thought to this particular concept. So in order to bring skills, startups, and practical experience into the education, this particular national education policy has been introduced. And the basic concept behind introducing this policy is that students should be able to make themselves Atmanirbhar, so that they are not dependent on any employer for the purpose of job. They should make themselves as job creators. So that is the best thing about national education policy. It gives you a choice and freedom to study on the topic of your interest. Let's say we have two kinds of students: those who are intelligent, those who can pursue academics very easily. Second category is of a majority of students. They are not that good in the education, in the academics, but they are good in certain other fields. So this education policy will definitely give boost to the second category of students after fifth class. If they want to choose a vocational course, if they want to choose a skill-based course, then from sixth class onwards, they can start giving exposure to their idea. They can work practically on the subjects or on the fields chosen. And once they are through after 12th class, when they are into the market for job purpose, they already having experience of around 8 to 10 years, so that when they come out after studies, they are very much eligible to earn jobs, definitely. And second thing, they are not only working as job providers, but they will be building the nation.
True.
So that is the most important thing. This education policy helps students to build their capacities. It helps in capacity building, and it helps in making them Atmanirbhar. So this is the best thing about this particular policy.
Right. So, considering on the aspects of Atmanirbhar Bharat, this policy is also promoting Atmanirbhar students and to make them capable, to go beyond the clerk job and to have their entrepreneurship, journey. So I believe Swarrnim Startup University, it was a time ahead when in 2014 no one has thought about this particular education policy. You have already implemented all these aspects. So how do you think with the new education policy, what kind of a boost is expected to this particular university, or what kind of a changes you see in coming future?
Now you see, this is the benefit which we talked about. And main thing is that because of this particular policy, now if you see the statistics of entire India, you find that Gujarat is the number one state in the field of startups and innovation. Okay. Here, not only education institutes, but certain incubators, which are from private sector as well as from government sector, they are doing their best for improving the status of innovation and startups in Gujarat. So what happened when startups will start clicking? It will help in increase of the per capita income of the individuals. So that is the most important thing. Second thing is that when students or anybody who is involved in startups, they are not worried about financial constraints. Their creativity will come out to their full extent. That is the best thing. If anybody who is out of routine 10 to 5 job and he's giving emphasis to his thought process and he's coming out with new ideas, definitely, just like the old ancient Indian system, will be able to produce models, will be able to produce admirers. So that will definitely help in increasing the status of education, but also help us in increasing the employability sector, you can say employability scale in India. So that is the most important thing.
Right. Oh, great. So understanding this new education policy gives wing to the student, to have a bright future. Do you see any specific backdrop of this particular education policy which we might see, or probably we might have to, grow with the phase of time to ensure that, we are aligned with our thought process? Do you see any specific points as of now?
You see, this is the beauty of this particular policy. It doesn't constrain you to a particular field. It is open for each and everything.
Right.
So sky is the limit. You can do anything in any field.
Right.
But only thing is that you have to be a little bit proactive and you have to come out with a small idea.
Right.
Rest, leave it on us.
Right.
Leave it on the educationists like us, institutions like us. We are here to help out that particular concept of idea
Right.
into an incubated startup.
Right.
So that is the most important.
True. So I understand infrastructure will play a very vital role, and being one of its kind university, Swarrnim startup have a very bigger role to play in the coming time to to have an effective implementation of national education policy, or probably to get real fruit out of it. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for all this sharing all this information for our viewers. It will be really interesting and a very educational base for all our viewers to understand about new education policy. In our one of the previous video, we also talk about how this education policy will ensure that we stay in India. It's more like a root system of India rather than going for a foreign education. You can find link of that particular video in our description. Thank you so much, guys. Please like this video. Please comment how you like the video. Please subscribe our channel, and we'll like to come out with more such videos. Thank you so much.